Dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. As announced earlier, today we are having a special class. We finished our second canto, second chapter, and today we are having a special class by Maharaj on the topic of health, and the verse number is first canto, first chapter, verse number 10. And Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you, and glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for doing this class for all of us. I'll share my screen for the verse.
Magyantimirandasya Ginajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Mastaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nivasesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Devsatarine Panchakalpa Turubhischa Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Aura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, first chapter, verse number 10. Prayena Vaya Yusa Sabde Kolonyasmin Yuge Janaha Manda Sumanda Bhatayo Manyabhaga Upadritaha. Translation. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So this particular verse gives a description of the general population in the age of Kali. Purport: the devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyzed the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened, not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, sense gratification, overdependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the vital energy of the very vitality of human energy. And therefore, life's duration is shortened. So here we see there is a fundamental statement being explained here that life is not shortened because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. And in other words, people generally don't follow a protocol. People live a lifestyle that is somewhat contrary to good health, to peace of mind, and to development of relationships based on quality. And therefore, there's always so many inebrities that appear because of these artificial standards of living. And what does it do? It saps the vital energy of human life. Srila Prabhupada would say that, and he would expand on this point by saying, 3 things causes one ill health: overeating, uncleanliness, and anxiety. The mind is connected to the body, and when the mind is not happy or peaceful, satisfied, it can also disturb the functions of the physical body. And therefore, things are thrown out of regularity, and people become subjected to diseases. The immune system becomes less strong, and breaks down because people don't follow a certain lifestyle. And there is many considerations on what is actually a bona fide or a healthy lifestyle. So when we talk about the way we live now, we're living in an anomaly. So to find a lifestyle that is healthy within the anomaly is the endeavor of intelligent people. And so they're making so many arrangements to find that. As far as health is concerned, there is a statement that says, if you lose your money, you lose nothing. If you lose your health, you lose something. If you lose Krishna, everything's gone. So health is given a consideration above even wealth, because people will spend large amounts of money to regain their health, or large amount of money to remain healthy. You can see how health is very intrinsic to life. And therefore, people put a lot of attention. And you see there's so many medical arrangements for preventing diseases, for stabilizing a person's health, and for curing people when they get sick. But you see, with all of these amenities that are available, practically everyone's sick, especially in this age of Kali. Why? Because of his statement here, people don't have irregular habits. They eat at different times, they sleep at different times, they perform different activities at different times. According to Vedic culture, which is human culture, which is established by Krishna through the different agencies that he inaugurates, there is a way to live happily and healthy. Of course, the ultimate principle is to become Krishna consciousness. But a lot of emphasis is put on day-to-day activities which increase the quality of life, or if it's not followed, causes one to become more vulnerable to sickness, weakness, and various types of debilitating situations. Today, we see there are so many medical facilities that are jammed up with people. But actually, according to the Vedic culture, which is the real human culture, health is analyzed, evaluated, fortified, and cured by the natural system that is given in the Vedas. So there's a part of the Vedas that's called Ayurveda. Ayur means life. Or no, Ayur means longevity. And Veda in this case means life. The science of the longevity of life. And that is the natural formula for following health standards and day-to-day hygienic habits. In the Bhagavatam, it explains in the 8th canto that during the churning of the milk ocean, at one point, a personality appeared with 2 arms, but he was Vishnu himself, and his name was Dhanvantari. And he carried with him the elixir of immortality, or the whole science of how to maintain health. We see that people don't really have an understanding of what this science is, nor do they even take time to find out. Prabhupada talks about the superiority of Ayurvedic medicine over all other forms of medicine. And he's given at least 300 plus quotes to establish his points. In one lecture, he says that in order to determine the standard of health of a living entity, the doctor, who is a trained Ayurvedic physician, will take a person's pulse. simply by the beating of the pulse, how fast it's beating, how slow it's beating, or what meter it's beating in, they can immediately say, this is what's happening in the body. They ask the patient, are you feeling like this and like this? And it's usually confirmed simply by taking the pulse. So it's a great science. There are many doctors that know that, and they can determine one's illness on any level, not just physiological, but even atomical, on the atomical level of how one's health is simply by taking the pulse. And then they prescribe medicines accordingly. Ayurveda, as opposed to any other forms of medicine, especially allopathic, emphasizes diet. They say food is medicine. Food is medicine, and one should understand their particular nature. There are, according to Ayurvedic standards, there are 5 different natures. There is there is 3 things: Vayu, Pitta, and Kalpa. These are the 3 things that make up the body. Vayu means the air. Pitta means the fire within the body, and Kalpa means the fatty substances within the body. In other words, muscles and everything else there. So, and when these 3 things are in line, according to how they're supposed to be in line, the body is healthy. If they get out of line, then there's some disease. And people have different constitutions accordingly. There is Pitta, there's Vayu, Pitta Vayu, or Vayu Pitta, and then there's Pitta Kalpa, and there is pure Pitta, there is pure Kalpa, and pure Vaya. So 5 types of what we say, types of bodies that exist within the world. And this is all arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when one knows one's constitutional nature, one can align a diet, and that will be substantial to keep good health like that. And of course, keeping regular habits is important. When we eat, of course, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, not too much, not too little. He refers to that both in eating and in sleeping. So eating is a very important part of fortifying and keeping health. It nourishes the body, it gives strength to the cells, and it also produces fatty substances. And when the nutrients are right, it gives health to the blood and many things that food actually does. In fact, even the scientists today cannot understand the benefits of food. They give some preliminary understanding, but not a complete understanding. When we go into Ayurvedic medicine, they can actually explain to you each and every food item, how it works in the body, how to combine foods in such a way that one will maximize the health of the body in different meals. When to eat, when not to eat, all of these things are part of it. And of course, another part of Ayurvedic is that they prescribe certain medicines. And these medicines are very easy to take. The difference between allopathic and Ayurvedic medicines is allopathic will deal with the symptoms. They can't understand what is the cause. They may give some indication of what is the cause. Well, when they apply their medicines, it doesn't really go to uprooting the cause of the disease. It merely deals with suppressing the symptoms, which seems like a type of cure. But in the long run, it doesn't last, because these different symptoms will hide in different places and reappear in different forms as different kinds of diseases. But Ayurveda goes right to the root and can understand by these 3 things, Kalpa, Pitta, Vayu, that when one of these things are out of line, then medicines are prescribed to bring them back into line. And once that's lined, And another thing Ayurvedic emphasizes digestion. When the digestion is good, generally the health is good. Like that, these are important parts of Ayurveda. So I just wanted to mention this part because in my own experiences and on studying and having exposure to different types of cures and medicines over the years. Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, over the years, I've evaluated that in the long run, Ayurvedic medicine is actually the standard by which one can keep health and by which one can regain health. And I have personal experience with that also. Another important part of keeping good health is getting proper rest. Srila Prabhupada would say we should sleep from 6 at most. He gives some leadway. He says no more than 8 hours a day. And he even quotes other doctors who say anyone who sleeps 8 hours a day, over 8 hours a day, will be in a diseased condition. I cannot make too much sleep is actually bad for the health. Too little sleep also is not good. One should find that balance, and usually between 6 and 8 hours, even 8 hours, at least from my experience, is too much. And it's, of course, as one gets older, it becomes more natural to break sleep up into different sections of the day. Because a person gets older, they generally can't sleep in long periods of time at one time. You see, the Prabhupada was like that. He would sleep 2 hours at night, 1 hour in the morning, and 1 hour in the afternoon, about at most 4.5 hours he would sleep. And he always said, when you're old, you can't sleep long. But sleep is important, and people should understand what it means to get proper sleep. Because we live a lifestyle that is very active on the material level, the mind is always engaged in various activities. And therefore, a lot of times those activities bring about stress and anxiety. And then when people try to rest at night, they can't because the mind is still going. So the mind should be very peaceful at night. It's always recommended that at least 2 hours before you take rest, slow down, put your computer away. Don't look at the computers late at night. That will force one to, the mind will also be more active as soon as you shut the computer off, or it'll be excessively tired. And then when you try to sleep, you'll sleep for a little while, but you'll wind up waking up because it's unnatural. So taking rest, again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that 2 hours, every hour before midnight is worth 2 hours after midnight. So in other words, if whatever hours you sleep before midnight, you get double the benefit after midnight because the different organs in the body are regenerating at different times. Particularly the liver regenerates at the time of 1 o'clock in the morning. And the liver is purifying all of the toxins in the body. So if we're active that time, we minimize the function of the liver's ability to detox the body and throw it into the waste area of the body. The heart regenerates at 12 o'clock noon every day. So to do very physical, heavy exercises around 12 o'clock is contrary to giving proper care for the heart. So these things are subtle, but we should learn them because they're also important. Because as Srila Prabhupada said, keep your health. He used to sign each one of his letters to his devotees, hoping this meets you in the best of health, your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He would always sign his letters like that. He always wanted devotees to keep good health. Prabhupada was a chemist too, so he dealt a lot with medicines, and so he knew medicine also. But in being in that field, he was always concerned that devotees. He said, if you don't keep your health, you won't be able to serve to your capacity. So he said, we want devotees who can serve enthusiastically with full energy. And therefore, one should be very diligent to arrange a program for keeping one's health. And of course, in this age, you have to do that because in previous ages, people just lived a healthy lifestyle. There wasn't all of these toxic things that are floating around in the environment as they are today. For instance, we have this EMF, electromagnetic field, that is coming by way of all of these machineries that we have, especially the internet. These things cause headaches. They cause too much exposure to EMF, causes headaches, can cause people to become angry easy. And it can change one's mood. And if we're exposed to these EMF at night, we also find disturbances in getting proper rest at night. So this EMF is another dangerous thing. So we have to do things to somehow or other circumvent or avoid the effects of all of this electronic thing. And never sleep in the same room that you have your computer in, or you do any electronics, because these things will emanate all of this EMF, and even on a subtle level, even when you shut it off, it's still doing that. And actually, Vastu says you should never sleep in the area where you do your day-to-day work. Always have another area. Always sleep in an area that is properly ventilated, where there's enough air movement. Don't sleep under fans. If you live in India, if you sleep under fans, then you're just pushing the stale air in the room around, and it usually causes some kind of congestion. That is not healthy either. So, but for our sleeping, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, take rest by 10 o'clock, and then sleep sufficiently and wake up fresh, and then take bath. And one thing that the acharyas mention, of course, they cover everything, is that this is the best time for elimination, for cleaning the intestines. So when getting up in the morning, one should practice or regulate themselves for evacuation at that time. Prabhupada said once a day in the morning is yogi, twice a day is bhogi, and 3 times a day is rogi or diseased. So devotees who live in ashrams, who have been trained in Krishna consciousness, follow that very carefully, that in the morning is the time for evacuation that cleans the intestines and that allows for new food and water to come in and then to help to build natural digestion like that. That's important. Again, back to sleeping. One should, again, sleep in an environment that has good ventilation. And sometimes in the wintertime, it's hard to do that. You sleep with heaters on, or sometimes it takes the oxygen out of the air, and you wake up with a headache, or else you can't breathe properly, or there's so many deficiencies in this age of Kali because we're living in an environment that is full of technology, which is artificial. It's not necessary for the human culture, but we have established a type of lifestyle that centers around this. And so people are struggling in order to keep their health within this unnatural environment. Before you take rest at night, again, make sure the mind is peaceful. Do not go to bed with a disturbed mind. If you feel like your mind is disturbed, sit and read for a while, especially Krishna book. Prabhupada recommended devotees drink some warm milk at night with a little sweetener in it. It helps to go to sleep. One of the things that helps to aid sleep is to massage the bottom of your feet with sesame oil. This will relax the body and also induce proper sleep. We can also do that with the head too, but particularly on the feet is where it is most effective, like that. So these things we do. Do not drink or eat a lot at night. And Prabhupada cautioned us, eat very light at night, because otherwise the fire of digestion works the best when the sun is at the highest. As the sun goes down, the fire of digestion is also going down. So you can see how we humans who have physical bodies are affected by the environment we're in. And just like the other day, we had a series of no sun here in India for a few days. And so I was talking to the Ayurvedic doctor, and he was saying, yes, when there's no sun, then people's appetites become less. And then they don't have any hunger, or they have less hunger for food. So when that happens, people will induce the fire of digestion by eating a little ginger or some chilies to bring up the fire, and that will inspire the hunger like that. So we can see how important it is. Eating late at night is really a disaster. It can also cause, restlessness and also cause dreaming. One should take something light accordingly. Sometimes we take a little soup or maybe some, I don't know. And that's all I take at night is a little soup, or sometimes somebody will come with something else and we'll try a little something, but never eat a full meal at night. If you do, you'll find yourself after a while, your health will really be impaired because digestion cannot function properly at that time. And when you're trying to sleep, you're trying to slow down the activities of the body, and the body is still working to digest. And so a lot of times that produces glucose, and that causes diabetes. And that's the number one way by which one can increase diabetes is eating big meals at night. Eat light, eat simple, like that. And if you decide to eat a meal at night, don't take it any later than 6 o'clock. Give yourself at least 3 to 4 hours before you take rest, like that. Because resting is so important. It quiets the mind. It's a form of meditation. It gives peace to the mind. It regenerates the body, and it's a principle of overall health. So eating, sleeping, and then also proper exercise. The body is a machine and needs to be exercised. So we should also do a sufficient amount of exercise. The best form of exercise is walking. Srila Prabhupada, when he was sick, when he first came to America, the doctor that treated him said to the devotees, he prays too much. Therefore, he needs to walk. So Prabhupada took that up, and then he started to begin his morning walk conversations, where every day he would walk for an hour from 6 o'clock in the morning to about 7. And then he would wind up at the temple. So he was very diligent to keep his health, and he was always walking at least an hour. So one should walk for, at least in the morning, every day, from at least 40 minutes to an hour, and the minimum 40 minutes, like that. You don't want to walk too much, but an hour should be sufficient. 40 minutes is also good, like that. Walk in the fresh air if it's fresh. If it's cold out, then even we have the example of Srila Prabhupada when he was in Switzerland and it was a snowstorm and he wanted to take his morning walk. And there was no place to walk because the whole place was full of white snow everywhere. So he was staying at a hotel, so he was walking up and down the corridor of the hotel just to keep his health. So we might say, well, that's just for elderly people. No, we should all take times for walking. My doctor told me I have to walk 2 to 3 miles every day, like that. So then walking is healthy. People, you see people outside, they're running. But Prabhupada never thought running was actually a benefit for health. He says that it says that when you take birth, you have so many heartbeats, or you have so many breaths given to you according to your karma. You're allotted so many breaths, and if you're running, you're speeding up those breaths, and therefore you're decreasing the longevity of life. That's according to Ayurveda. So Ayurveda doesn't recommend running; it recommends walking. Walking briskly is also nice. And if you're in a good environment, when it's quiet in the morning, the fresh air is out, the atmosphere is free from a lot of activity, it's the best time. It's a very good way to keep good health, walking. Another way to keep good health is don't get into anxiety. Of course, we practice Krishna consciousness and we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that gives peace of mind, and that also uh, diminishes any anxiety that we might have simply by chanting. But anxiety is there because it's imposed upon us by the lifestyle we live. There's so much anxiety to keep up with the standard of living that is required in such a highly technological industrial society. So everyone's in anxiety to some degree or other. But when anxiety turns into stress, then stress breaks down the body and people get sick simply because of stress. When one evaluates the sickness, they can't connect it to stress because the body will simply succumb to the stress in different parts of the body. It'll affect different organs. It'll, of course, affects the mind directly. One of the ways to become healthy is always become happy. They say happiness and health go together. Krishna consciousness is the formula for happiness. And therefore, one practice Krishna consciousness, they will also become happy. And that happiness will also increase the quality of one's life like that on all levels. So these are some points that we can discuss in terms of health. There's much more when it comes to health like that. Keep regular habits as much as you can. Many of us work and we have a lot of responsibilities, and we sometimes find our schedules changing according to what is required from our material responsibilities, but best you can. The best thing to do is to always keep spiritual practice early in the morning. Don't push your spiritual practice to the later part of the day. Keep it in the morning as far as your daily sadhana, your chanting of japa, your reading of scripture, your worshiping of your deity. These things in the morning are the best time, and they nourish the soul also. When the soul is nourished, the body also becomes nourished by when the soul is energized, because the soul is the energy feature within the body, like that. Like that. That's why you'll see great souls, they eat very little, but they're still very healthy. Why? Because they're energized by the spiritual energy, like that. So spiritual energy is also a great medicine to keep good health. But these are some things. I mean, there's a lot in this particular area of health. Things to avoid is if you can eat simply, as it says here, as Prabhupada mentions that in here, by keeping regular habit and eating simple foods. So the tongue is the most voracious to control. We get attracted to very luxurious types of foodstuffs that are tasty, but they may not be good for the health. So it's not worth it to jeopardize your health simply to enjoy some enjoyment of the tongue, because that is the way to weaken the immune system, which causes one to become sick easier and easier. Keep the immune system strong by eating simple foods and doing regular habits, and fortify it by aligning oneself with one's constitutional nature. One can find that out. I would suggest each and every devotee come and once a year go to an Ayurvedic clinic. There's one in America, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Vashant Lal has set up a Ayurvedic clinic in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There may be other Ayurvedic clinics. There's one in Slovenia that I'm aware of. In India, they're all over the place. And it's always good. I would suggest devotees go once a year and get a checkup and just see what is the condition of their body and how they can improve the quality of their health and what they can eliminate that is causing them to weaken their health like that, because health is very important. If we're not healthy, it's hard to practice Krishna consciousness. And if we're not healthy, we also cause a burden to others because others have to take care of us when we're not healthy. So that causes others to become burdened by our misfortune also. Okay, so these are some things. We can speak a lot more, but you can open up your questions to all areas of health. I may have not covered a lot of other areas that are important. Something may be on your mind in relationship to your own practice of health. Speak whatever you think is important and to understand.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful class. And yeah, you said almost you covered so many aspects of health. Yeah, thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead. And yeah, as Maharaj said, like you can ask any different aspect of health question too. Please raise your hand and turn on your cameras if possible.
Ayurveda is so powerful that it even gives a mantra which people chant in order to get good health. I can give you that mantra right now. They say if you chant this mantra, you can maximize the quality of your health.
Yes.
I can get it right here, right now. It's just in front of me, I think. I think so. This is something else. Okay. Inactivity is a breeding ground for disease. Laziness causes disease. The body needs to move and drink about enough water that is equal to your weight. So usually we drink from about 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Don't sit long in front of the computer. That's another way to minimize your health for obvious reasons. If you feel weak and your mind is a little dizzy, to avoid strokes, people get strokes. Aspirin is the best thing for avoiding strokes. Many devotees carry aspirin with them. And if they feel a little dizzy or some weakness coming on or something, they take aspirins. These are some health tips to consider. Let me get to that mantra that's here somewhere. I have to go to a different section of my computer to find this mantra. It's interesting. Where is it? I can't find the icon to get there.
Did you exit the full screen mode, Maharaj?
Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm getting close to it now. Let's say do. I have to, okay. There we go. Mhm.
Maharaj, can you share your screen?
Um, I don't think it's worth it. There's nothing really to show.
Okay.
Let me see here. Where is this mantra here? Mhm. Mantras are also ways to increase the quality of life by chanting mantras. Mantras actually work not only on the body, but on the soul also. Let's see. Where is this mantra that I'm looking for? I have to go to one more place. And okay, I think it's over here. Okay, mantra for health. So it's very simple. Om Shri Arogya Lakshmi Yai Namaha. Om Shri Arogya Lakshmi Yai Namaha. Somebody can write that down. Om Shri Devi, are you there today?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I'm writing it down.
Om Shri Arogya, Arogya, Lakshmi, Laksmi, Yai, Yai, Namaha, Namah. So that's mantra from health. That's coming from Ayurveda also. Because Ayurveda, in its completion, does three things: medicine, diet, and mantra. Mantras also are used to reestablish health and to fortify the energies within the body. Just like when you chant Hare Krishna, you get energy. It happens automatically. So let me get back to the Zoom here.
Yes.
Okay.
We have
So
two
this-
raised hands. Vrindavan Prabhu, please go ahead.
How do I get back?
If you see the Zoom icon, you can click on that.
Okay, well, it says join meeting, but I already joined. When it comes to computers, I'm the worst. Okay, we're getting closer here. Oops, we almost had it.
Usually I click on Zoom icon and
I got it now. We're back.
okay, Maharaj, thank
We were back anyway.
you. Vrindavan Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada used to do this morning walk from 6 to 7 a.m. as you mentioned. But there's the time for japa. And also one thing I realized that in morning program in temples, there is no break for exercise, yoga or walk. And it's from 4:30 to 8:30 and then breakfast.
Welcome to ISKCON. Yeah. You want to get some morning walk in there, you have to get up like 2 o'clock. But devotees, many devotees, they when it comes to japa period, they walk. They do walking japa. Some devotees would rather not do walking japa. They like to sit, and others like to combine walking and sitting. That's me. I like to combine both. And there's others that like to just walk. The thing about walking is you have to maneuver, and that also takes away from your attention on japa. Can when you have to navigate your walking, your mind is also thinking about that while you're trying to chant. But if you get a limited area for walking where you can get a pattern, then you can get it to a routine where you don't have to think about walking. You can just simply walk and chant. Mhm. I have to give credit to Vrindavan Nath. He gave me some remedy that helped me so much that I can't believe it. I never told him about this, but when you go to kirtans, especially, and you come away, you get this ringing in your ear. And some devotees have actually developed tinnitus, which is, I don't know, any of you have that problem, ringing in the ear, noise within the ear? Well, Vrindavan gave me the formula. Since I've been following that, I go to kirtans, nothing bothers me. The ringing is gone, everything. And it's so simple, it's ridiculous. I do it every morning. You take one drop of olive oil and you put it in your ear. That's all. With a dropper, just drop one drop of good olive oil, quality olive oil in your ear, and put one in each ear. And I just push the air a little bit so the oil gets in. I've never had any problems with, and he told me that too when I was at his house. He said, it works, right?
Yeah. Thank you,
It's
Prabhu.
great. I mean, God has made it. And now, people are talking about tinnitus and they have different problems and they have different doctors and different remedies. Just use one drop of olive oil every day. Somadatri, try it. It works. I have to
Thank-
give credit to Vrindavanath for that simple formula because, sometimes when you come away from a kirtan or loud noises, that noise stays with you. There are people who can't sleep because they have that sound is constantly going on in their mind. And devotees a lot because of kirtan. But just put
Sure.
some olive oil in there and hey, you're good.
Nice to
God put all of the formulas for ailments in nature. All we have to do is learn about them. Ayurvedic is the closest to one to align everything with nature. I should also mention the downside of allopathic medicine. This is not a criticism of allopathic medicine. It's just a revelation of the effects that they had in the world. And this is a fact for those of you who live in the United States, particularly. It's been given statistics, and it's been backed by the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, that 15,000 people every month die of the cure that they received from their doctors. This is in the US. You go to the doctor, he kills you. Haribol.
Krishna.
It's not a joke. It's 15,000 people a month, and I have documents by doctors and other authorities that confirm that this is what is going on in the US now. Because allopathic medicine is simply speculation. They're good with broken bones, they're good with pathology, but when it comes to cures, good luck.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj, for sharing that. Thank you. Ridanya, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So I was just thinking, so when we initially start bhakti, we are like given a lot of, prasadam, and they recommend eating a lot of prasadam. Is eating Krishna prasadam overeating? And there is one more thing I also wanted to clarify in the same aspect. Like when you are given services and if you're enthusiastic, I mean, like you end up doing that services over time, like, like sacrificing your sleep and something like that. So is that bad as well?
When it comes to service, sometimes we go outside of the boundaries of what would be considered proper care of the body. But That's all right to a certain degree, but if you do it on a regular basis, you might find yourself getting a little sick or weak. So it can be done occasionally, and even more than occasionally. But if it's done as a, I think the biggest danger that devotees fall in is they go to bed too late at night. When I talk to devotees, I know some devotees, they go to bed 11, 12 o'clock. What do you do at that time of night? There's nothing to do. Just go to sleep. 10 o'clock for me is considered late. I like to get to bed by 9 if I can, and that way I'm up by 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, usually about 3. And I have enough time for my japa and for other spiritual activities. Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's a cliche that has been bandied around, and it's true. Staying up late, it can also jeopardize the quality of your health. Because as it says by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the body rests better before midnight. And especially, he said, take rest by 10 o'clock, the latest. Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to go to bed at 7:30 in the evening. And then he would get up around 1:30, and then write his books, chant his japa, like that. Srila Prabhupada also. Well, Prabhupada went to bed late. He went to bed late, but he also got up early. Prabhupada was on a different level. But he took 2 times during the day to rest, to regenerate his body. And he also had at least 2 hours every day where he would take his massage. So he said 3 things. He said, my massage, my morning walk, and my Ayurvedic medicine increased my life by 10 years. He said that. He included Ayurveda also. That statement is there. So staying up late is not really beneficial for overall health. I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable because of late night programs, but if it becomes a regular thing, then it may cause some difficulty.
I see. Also about overeating prasadam, Maharaj. Like,
Prasadam is not an excuse to overeat.
okay, understood. Thank you, Maharaj.
As Krishna says in the Gita, not too much, not too little. So you have to find your balance. You may require more or less than someone else, but you have to find what works for you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
If you take food and you're done with eating and you feel tired, something is wrong. If after eating, either you're eating the wrong foods, you're not eating properly, or you're eating too much. If you feel tired after you eat, that is an indication.
Thank you. Thank you,
You
Maharaj.
You should feel happy and energized after food. That's an indication that meal was good, was beneficial.
Sonal Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances to all the devotees as well. Maharaj, I have this typical question of waking up early in the morning and doing japa. I have been trying, and I really want to get into the habit of finishing my japa early in the morning. But what is happening is, it's been going on for a while now. I wake up at 5 o'clock. So first few rounds are fine. And then the mind gets diverted to things to do during the day. So later rounds are kind of slacking, or I tend to rush up during those rounds. And the second thing which I have realized is, during the evening time, say 7:30, when I do my prayers, that's the time when my mind is most peaceful, because the day is over now and I'm trying to wind down, and I'm able to concentrate more during that time. So how to change these around, or is it necessary to change this around?
Well, if you find your mind diverting away to the things you have to do in the early morning, one of the things you can carefully avoid is don't chant in an area where you do your daily activities. Because as soon as you see something, it reminds you of something you have to do or something about that. Usually we find a space somewhere in the house, we call it the sacred space. And then we focus our attention on strictly on our chanting. Sometimes we have a little room, we make the temple room, we call it our temple room like that. But if you're chanting in the living room or in the kitchen or yeah, that's the worst place. So that will help you to, control the mind more towards japa. And then as soon as the mind starts to think about things that you have to do, just become aware of it and just go back to the sound vibration. Just shut the mind down. Don't pay attention to it. Push it out with the power of the holy name.
And what to do about the evening time? Because I find that time is the most productive in terms of, or I'm much more calmer at around 7:30 in the evening. So how shall I use that time?
Well, if you're finding it's beneficial, then I don't see any problem.
So I can chant a few rounds over there, or I can read.
Yeah. What time do you take rest generally?
I try to go to bed by 9:30 because I'm shattered by then.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good time. But do you feel tired in the morning when you chant?
No.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing that you don't feel. Many devotees, they feel tired even after a full night's sleep because they don't rest properly, or they eat too much at night, or they go to bed too late, or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
And you'll see if you improve the quality of your health, that it'll also help you in your Krishna consciousness too.
Well, what I've realized is since I've started practicing the routines, it has helped me the other way around, that I'm much more happier. And
Good. Prabhupada said, we want happy devotees, not devotees who are miserable. He says, if you're miserable, you're not a devotee.
thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. That's good.
Thank you. Rishabhanu Prabhu, Kirtida Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept our Dandavat pranams and humble obeisances. I think today, whatever you have said is like music to my ears. I do suffer from tinnitus for many years, and with age, of course, my hearing has gone down, but I use good quality hearing aids. But chanting becomes a bit more time consuming because I like to hear and I like to overcome this humming that goes on all day. I'm used to it, but I chant slowly so I can hear and I can, overcome the effects of tinnitus. But what you mentioned, I will start tonight. This is the drops of oil, olive oil, and that to me is like a miracle cure, because I was told up to now there is no cure for tinnitus, and I just live with it. So that's one very useful tip, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj.
I think Vrindavan learned that when he was a kid in India, right?
Sorry?
Where did you learn that, Vrindavanath, about the oil?
Just like Guru Maharaj in one of the Ayurvedic hospital, they suggested, and I started doing this from long time. And many
Yeah.
other people also gave the same evidence that they really, really had very good benefit.
Yeah, I would suggest this is just a side thing is don't use olive oil that is manufactured in Italy. Use it in the stuff that's in Spain or Croatia has really good olive oil. Italy has been caught making cheap olive oil just to sell olive oil. So they're under scrutiny now because of that. So I'm not saying all the olive oil that comes from Italy is like that, but there is they caught these people making cheap olive oils to make quick money. So use the good stuff from Spain is good, or from Greece. There's many countries that manufacture nice olive oil. Virgin olive oil is the best.
Mhm.
And we'll see you in about a week or two, and you'll be free from all of your
Oh,
sound vibrations.
I would love that. And can I, Maharaj, with your permission, if there is time, share my experience of Ayurveda, because I'm totally dependent on Ayurvedic treatment for all my ailments. And that might help our viewers or other devotees.
Well, yeah, it's not too lengthy, is it? You want what you want to share?
I will keep it short. I think, and maybe on a different occasion, I take treatment at a Ayurvedic center in India, and I top up for maintenance of this treatment with a pulse reader in UK. So this is the summary.
Good, yeah. I recommend it too. Everyone should, those who are not doing it should try and see if it doesn't become, something that you want to adopt, because I find it superior. During the lockdown, during the COVID, I started to go to an Ayurvedic doctor that was located near our temple. And after following him for a couple of years, my overall physical strength really came back strong like that. So yeah, it's there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
for
much,
sharing.
Guru Maharaj. And I think Kirtida, my wife, wants to add something.
he says so. Pranam Guru Maharaj and Pranam all my devotees. Maharaj, this is my question. I don't believe in a gym. My whole family do the gym, but I used to do a lot of swimming and walking. Still, I'm doing walking. I don't do that swimming now. But I do yoga. My yoga teacher said you do the yoga, and what she said, the gym is not very good because the machine helps after 50s. But yoga is the best exercise for the lifetime. So what do you think about gym?
Gym, it's artificial. Once you get into a gym, you have to keep going, because as soon as you stop,
Yes.
then it becomes a problem. And once you get into a gym, you just keep going. And something is happening, but no, yoga is the best, because it's really balancing the energies in the body. And that's what yoga does.
Mhm.
It's not just popping up the muscles to look like, some guy who's got, they portray these guys with all these muscles. It looks like to walk around like that seems to be a big burden.
Yeah.
I saw when this was a little film where two guys came from America, and they had been working out in the gym, and they had all of these big muscles. And then they came and met these martial arts people here in India, and they were just little thin little kids, you know. And these martial arts persons taught them what is real, you know, fighting. And they were amazed how they didn't have any, you know, strong bodies, at least physically visible, but they were much more dexterous, much more adept in moving and fighting than these guys with all their big muscles.
Maharaj. Bless you.
So yeah. And they were shocked. They were thinking these guys are like half our size and they're beating us up, you know. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Stay out of gyms too.
Thank you, Maharaj. Rajmandal Prabhu, please go ahead.
Now here's a health expert here, Raj Mandala. That's what he does.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my sincere, humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, and all glories to the Vaishnavas present here and around the world. Hare Krishna. I just want to add a couple of points. Firstly, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for guiding me to Ayurveda and treatment. And I don't know if you remember, I think it was last year, we were sitting in the temple in Watford at the manor, and I was ever so ill. And Krishna's arrangement was so special that opposite me was, I believe her name was Shesha Mataji, and she's I think she's a practitioner in her own right. But she was sitting there and she intervened in our conversation because I was speaking to you about my health and it was so bad. And she introduced me to an Ayurvedic doctor, Dr. Vani. Her website is Vani Prana, and she cured me. She just went through the whole thing, whole system. I had to work for about 3-4 months with her, and she gave me medication, as you mentioned in the class. I was not allowed to eat certain foodstuffs. I was on strict diet like khichdi, ghee, no chili. Lots of foodstuffs were just taken away. No chocolate. She knows that I have a sweet tooth and all of these things that she just eradicated. And she stopped. And she gave me certain medication. And I was taking that and it changed and so on and so forth. And then I started to notice I became a bit more thin, a bit more leaner, and my energy levels started to increase. My digestive system increased really well, really, really well. And by now, Guru Maharaj, I would have been sick with a cold or flu at least twice in this autumn, which is in England, it's autumn right now, and we're in October. So by now, I haven't had anything. Last year, I had about 10 or 12 colds, flus, infections. I was a mess. I really was struggling. So I just
what you're saying is a tribute for Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is the real medicine.
right.
People are a little reluctant to take Ayurveda because it's more long term. I mean, you have to go through the regimen, and people want a quick fix, so they go to the doctors. He gives them some pills. They say, "Here, take this," and the pain is gone, and but that doesn't cure. So if you have faith in the Ayurvedic system, it works. And faith is also part of curing. Going to a doctor that you can actually trust and have faith in, that is 50% of the cure also. Yeah.
Correct, Guru Maharaj. If the devotees here wish to reach out to her, I will put it on our group chat. She's really, really good. She's very partial to Krishna consciousness, surprisingly as well. It was amazing how it manifested. And she's very, very good. She's a very, very good practitioner, and she cured me very well.
Yeah, Megan Raj Mandala is in the UK, and I think many of you who are online here are also in the UK. So that would be helpful to devotees to have that access. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I highly recommend it. I really recommend it. So again, thank you, Guru Maharaj, for helping me, and my health is a lot better. I still have a lot to work on, as you mentioned in class, with just foodstuffs and early rest, early rise.
I actually thought we were going to lose you at one point.
I know, Guru Maharaj. I kind of, as crazy as it sounds, I kind of felt it. I felt it at one point. I was really struggling. I don't know whether the COVID vaccine did it. I'd like to say it did. I had 3 shots or 4, all in all, because of my work within the NHS. And ever since I refused more shots, and that's COVID and flu, yeah, it left a mark for sure. It really left a mark. But I've been improving. My weight got better and my sleep got better, and I just feel a lot more happier within myself.
Good. We're all happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Karunapurna Devidasi, Mataji. Oh, sorry. Oh. I don't see you on the camera.
She's unmanifest. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah. Please,
Okay. Karuna.
please unmute yourself. We are not able to hear you. Can you please unmute, Mataji?
There's a button on the Zoom on the bottom that says
Yeah.
Mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna. I was just saying that I'm here just by coincidence because Emangi Radha sent me this link, and I didn't know that this existed. Anyway, I just wanted to share something with assembled devotees, because I'm sure that you know Maharaj already. My Ayurvedic doctor that I had for many years, all the time in a continuous way, he always advised me to do at the end of the prescription. Well, there was a medication, and then at the end of the prescription, there was always what pranayamas I had to do, and for the next 6 weeks, and what pranayama I had to do, and then what asanas I had to do. So the pranayama, I mean, now in the West, the naturopaths, they have discovered pranayama, and they call it, how do they call it? Breath work. They call it breath work. But actually is pranayama. The principle is that when you have oxygen into your body, that changes everything in the body, obviously. Number one, pathogens cannot live, and then it gives you energy, it gives you prana, etc. So that's the very beginning of everything, to have good oxygen in the body. There are techniques to do it, but there are hundreds and thousands of website, I mean, of tutorials on YouTube, so everybody can learn about that. The typical ones are the Anuloma Viloma and Kapalabhati. These are the basic typical ones. Otherwise, you can just sit on a chair and then breathe in, retain a little bit, and then breathe out. That's very simple. Everybody can do that, and that really is a game changer. So that's pranayama. Is so important. And the second thing that was on my prescriptions always, it was which asanas. So this joins what Maharaj was saying, that somebody suggested going to the gym. The gym actually is bad, according to my Ayurvedic doctor, which is like my guru on that one, is bad for you because it doesn't adjust your doshas. So meaning your internal constitution. So when you're doing certain, so there are going to be asanas for Pitta constitution, for Vata constitution, etc. So when you're doing those asanas, actually you are rebalancing your body and you're healing your body, right?
Right.
You need to be obviously breathing in a proper way at the same time, no?
Right.
But
So those two things are, this is exactly what Maharaj was saying.
Yeah.
And also sorry, somebody's talking to me?
No, that's okay.
No. All right, okay. So then, and another thing, devotees were mentioning about they cannot. Some of them, one gentleman and one lady were saying about the japa, and adjusting the japa time, and then the walking time, because in ISKCON it just falls more or less at the same time. I can just give you my experience. I have been until now, even for the past 45 years, I've been doing the same thing. I wake up very, very early. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Needless to say, I go to bed. The whole process starts 8 o'clock in the morning. At night, I go to bed. Then I wake up at around 2 o'clock in the morning. It's absolutely fantastic chanting japa at that time. You chant japa between 2 and 4. When you wake up, I just share my experience. You just read a bit of your favorite prayers or your favorite, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want, because you're not counting the time. And then after you start chanting, you open your window, you can breathe. There's no noise. There's nothing. It's just nothing disturbs your chanting. And you're just you and Krishna, and that's it. And you just chant and chant and chant, and it's so easy chanting. And then at 4 o'clock, then those who live in temples, then they can go to Mangalarti, etc. And then after, you just do what your duties during the day, But I just wanted to share that. And then if you want to do your exercises, then you can just do it after that at 7 o'clock, like when somebody was saying, oh, well, it's time to go to the Guru Puja, and actually we cannot do so anyway. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah. And about yeah.
It was nice to hear that. I mean, you really hit on something really essential about that early rising and the quality of japa that comes by that time.
It's amazing. And you chant quicker because you are so focused, and there's absolutely no noise. Nobody disturbs you. After that, personally, if I haven't chanted all my rounds by 4, bad news. After that, it's like everything is like very. The energy is different in the atmosphere afterwards. And finally, about the Ayurveda, coming back to Ayurveda, this that some people think that Ayurveda is for long term. In one sentence, I must say that I was for 1 year bedridden, completely bedridden, in Vrindavan. I went to see 1 million doctors. Nobody could fix me. I came here to the West. Nobody could fix anything or understand what I had. And when I went back to Vrindavan, I found my Ayurvedic doctor, who became my doctor for 12 years after that. And in 1 week, he took my pulse, he gave me some bashmas. In 1 week, I was up and running. And then he became my doctor after for 12 years, and I saw him every 6 weeks or something like that. But what I'm saying is that Ayurveda is not for long run. If you hit on the right doctor who takes the pulse properly and he knows what he's doing, then is a very quick fix, actually. But you need to continue, obviously, because otherwise,
Yeah, and you follow the protocol after that, so you don't fall back into the. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's
Those
amazing.
are my 3 points.
It's amazing to hear that. How after all of that struggle to find health,
and he was just around the corner. Yeah. He was just there. He was just there. I came all the way here, and he was just there.
Well, I mean, just listen to you. I can hear that your voice is really strong and clear. Your health is good.
Well, I miss my doctor now. Now that I'm here, I miss my doctor. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Karuna.
Nice seeing you, Maharaj. Thank you,
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
And I just wanted to add something that she mentioned, which is essential. The Vedas explain that good health is acquiesced or developed by pranayama. Pranayama is the key, actually, of all of the activities for building health. It's a regimen that you follow, but those who follow pranayama will have amazing results. Sri Devi.
Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead, Sridevi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances and my most grateful thanks for this wonderful session that we are having so far. The very last testimony by Karuna Purna Devidasi sounds absolutely heavenly. I want to get to that point. And I have some questions regarding scheduling for that. After finishing the Panchakarma treatment, somehow my energy levels have just not come back. They did warn me that it'll take some months. I'm hoping that slowly that will change. And the doctor had told me, do not put an alarm. Wait for your body to wake up naturally. Now, when I do that, I'm able to go throughout the day without any difficulty. I can carry on all my activities and so on. But if I do not put the alarm, I get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, like that. And then it's a very late start to the day. And I just don't like the quality of my rounds because for many years, I'm used to waking up early morning, 3:45, I would be in the temple, chant at least 8 rounds before Mangalarti. And that's what I'm used to. So now I'm taken by, this is what is going on. So I have to figure out how to navigate this phase and this stage in my life correctly so that I don't lose out on health, but at the same time, I don't jeopardize my sadhana. So, of course, I'm due to talk with the doctor tomorrow. I'll get his input on this. But I'm just wondering, since you know so many people and you've done Panchakarma yourself, this is the first time I'm doing it. How much time does it take for your body to pick up and improve the energy levels?
I can't give a definite answer on that because it'd be different for different people. But we have Murshab, he's online today. He just went through he's just finishing up. I think today is his last day, 24 days of treatment in the Ayurvedic clinic. And part of it was Panchakarma. So maybe he can say something. You want to say something, Rishab?
Yeah, he has been mentioning in the chat. It is very nice to have a doctor. You can ask anything about your body and he will tell you what is good and not good for you. You don't have to speculate.
Seems like he's away from his camera right now. Anyway, I think when I hear, and from my own experience, one of the keys to establishing a system of health is going to bed early and getting up early. All right, this late night and getting up late. I mean, I try to get up by 3. And if I get up at 4, sometimes that happens because of late night. I feel like I'm working against the energy. I would like to get up at 2. I used to do that, but it depends on the environment, depends on my activities in the evening also. Because, we travel, we also do programs in the evening. Sometimes programs go late. It's hard to really, adjust. That's why a lot of our leading preachers are sick because, late nights or just accepting any kind of prasadam that's given to them by people who want to cook for them. That's another, occupational hazard. So I think for you, you would start with maybe try going to bed 8:30, the latest, 9 o'clock maybe. Get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock, the latest. And if you start your day like that, then you can start to add different things to help I think everything starts with good sadhana.
Right, exactly. So I just quit listening to the doctor. I just woke up, thanks to Dheeraj Prabhu. He started this early morning japa call. And because of that, I just wake up early, start the japa call, finish all my rounds by 7. But then the effects is the tiredness starts coming in. By 10 o'clock, I'm very tired, I'm dragging, and it's hard to carry out all my activities of the day.
Be careful how much you eat in the morning. Breakfast should be light, not heavy.
Okay. Okay.
Main meal is lunch. Breakfast light, evening light. But lunch is the main meal.
Thank you.
Anand, you've been waiting a long time.
Yes, Maharaj.
Krishna,
Anand.
dear Guru Maharaj, Dandat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. Thank you, dear Guru Maharaj, for sharing all the secrets. Maharaj, I have two questions and two things to share. So, should I ask questions first and then share my things, or?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, Maharaj, my first question is, I generally take fruits and nuts in the morning. They say like you should take only one fruit at a time. But I like combine different kinds of fruits and nuts. So is it okay to do that?
Find out which fruits go with other fruits. Some fruits clash with others because of the quality of that fruit.
Exactly.
Some mix better than others, and some don't mix as good. I was with one god sister when we were eating. She was showing me, we had about 4 or 5 fruits in front of us. She was telling me in what order you should take these fruits also. Mhm. So I could say a few things about being specific, but I don't think that would be helpful. That you can learn by doing a little research, see what fruits go with other fruit, you know. And certain fruits are good for certain things, like pomegranate is good for colds. Pomegranate, if you have loose motions, also pomegranate is good. What is it? Papaya is also good for colds. But the best thing is, and this is what is followed in India, is people take the fruit according to the season. If you eat the fruits during the season that season is meant for, then you get the quality of that fruit also. Like people don't, the mangoes are good around June, right? June, July, I think.
Right.
But if you try to get a mango at this time, it's not gonna taste good. It's gonna be a little sour. It's not gonna have the same effect, nutritional effects. Today I had some grapes, but grapes are not the season. And I could taste the grapes. They weren't so tasty because it was out of season. So yeah, I'm trying to eat fruits according to season.
Thank you, Maharaj. My next question is, Maharaj, I like to keep all the spiritual practices in the morning, like chanting all the 16 rounds in the morning, reading in the morning, and also doing some exercise in the morning. But I see that I get generally sleep in the office like afternoon. If I'm at home working from home, I take some nap. But in the office setting, it is not possible. So, is there a practical way to keep ourselves not sleepy?
When you're working, there was I read about it, certain corporations were providing a little sleep room for people who wanted to rest after lunch. I don't know if that's there with your particular one, but you can also ask your manager, tell them you need a little rest, and then you'll be back and see if they can adjust. Just be honest. Tell them you're tired and you need a little rest.
Mhm.
It's good to take a little snap during the day. It kind of re-energizes you. Not too much, though. If you sleep too much during the day, then you also feel more tired.
What's the ideal amount of napping time?
During the day, from 20 minutes to a half hour most.
Mhm.
Prabhupada used to call it snap. Take a snap. Snap means short nap.
Thank you.
Okay. And then you had two other things you wanted to mention, something?
Yes, Maharaj. I wanted to mention about white pumpkin. So white pumpkin is like I felt it was very essential, like in cleaning the intestines, the juice of white pumpkin. So I just wanted to recommend to devotees, uh, if they honor like uh, what we can say, bread or something like that, pizzas in the night. This the juice of white pumpkin helps in clearing the intestines, and it is very high pranic food.
That would be something for me because they're always trying to give me pizza. I mean, I have to fight it. Like last night, they said, "We're making you pizza tonight, Maharaj." I said, "I don't really want it." They said, "Come on, just one night. It's all right." So I surrendered. This morning I was chasing my japa all around the room. I couldn't catch the holy name. It kept running away. So yeah, we don't. White pumpkin sounds like some, antidote.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you.
The only thing is that it cools down our body, Maharaj. So generally in like winter or it's better to keep it less, like very small cup of glass.
Yeah.
It might disrupt the doshas, and I have seen like especially in winter times, if I take it like a large full glass or something, then my throat is having like cough or something. So
Yes, everything should be taken in season also.
yes.
I used to tell there's a nice book. It was put together by my godbrother Prahlad Maharaj. It's called "Hope This Meets You in the Best of Health," and it's a compilation of all of the statements Prabhupada made on health. Plus, there's also some lectures on Ayurveda towards the end. I recommend it. It's not a very big book, but it's a nice little book. You can refer to it. You can also get some insights that would help you. We have to really fight to keep our health in this age because the way we live is contrary to health.
Yes, Maharaj. Vrindavan Pro just added a comment in the chat section that if we add some black pepper to the juice, ashgard juice, it will help to avoid the cold.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to make a note of that one. Thank
Yes.
you.
And I have another thing to share, Maharaj. There is a substance called Gond Katira. In India, it's called Gond Katira. The English name I found out is Tragacanth gum. It is found on some trees. So that is very essential, Maharaj, like for multiple purposes. Like if you soak it in water for some time and put on your eyes, it like cools down your eyes. If you are watching a lot of screens or something, it avoids the strains on the eyes, Maharaj. And it can be also used in like Indian gravies. If the gravy is too thin or something, if you want to make thick gravies, then we can add it. It's a taste.
Okay.
It's tasteless, but it adds to these things. And there might be other advantages also. We might find it on internet, but these two are Tragus and Gamma.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Maharaj, before going to Silpesh Prabhu, here there is a question by Connor Prabhuji. He's asking, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, you spoke so many wonderful tips for health and what to avoid to live health in body and spirit. One thing you spoke about was the damage anxiety can do to us. When I hear all these health tips, I tend to go all in and see if I have been doing everything wrong up to this point. and want to change everything at once. This can cause me great anxiety and negativity towards myself. How can I avoid this so I can make the positive changes without stressing myself out or looking down on myself?
Well, they say if you're going on a journey, you don't get there by the first step. But the first step is necessary to begin. So, you just have to deal with your rascal mind. That's all. The mind's a rascal, that's all. So, all right, I'm going to do something. It's going to take some time. Let me plan it out properly and just work with it. That's all. Habit is replaced by habit. You can't give up a habit without replacing it with something better. So in replacing it, the habits don't break immediately. You'll see when people try to adjust, they spring back to their old ways because their old ways have been entrenched in the way they do things for a long time. The power of Krishna's mercy and the chanting of the holy name will give us the strength and the clarity of vision to move forward in any of the activities that we need to become successful in. The holy name is universal. It's not used for improving material life, but everything automatically becomes more natural when we chant the holy names. So that will mitigate your anxieties also. The problem is we live a very unnatural lifestyle. We're squeezing in so many things. We have 100 things to do and we only have time for 50, so that's the problem. So be patient and work with it.
Thank you so much. Silpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
So we got added a little bit. Take your white gourd or white pumpkin in the morning.
Yeah, on empty stomach and not to eat or drink anything, at least for an hour after that.
Okay. It's good for sannyasis who were forced to eat pizza at night.
Silpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Silpesh.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, everything you've said today is absolutely amazing. And I'm a total testimonial to that because I've experienced that your own mind and anxiety can completely ruin your health from my own experiences. And it's only coming to Krishna consciousness that I'm now regaining my health and have a purpose in life. And it's just amazing. Like, this Krishna consciousness is answer to everything pretty much in one way or another. And I want to say with Ayurveda, one really good thing is that Ayurvedic doctors never charge a lot of money. Health shouldn't cost a lot of money. The medicine is very cheap as well on the whole. And if anybody out there, there's a lot of programs on the internet where people say, I have a cure to this or that, but it will cost you so much money. My experience has been that it never ever works. They're bogeys. So that's really nice about Ayurveda. It does follow like the Vedic principle that, health should not cost a lot of money. So that's the main put across.
Yeah, and Ayurveda doesn't believe in injections. They don't do anything injection. Everything is done by various types of medicines, massages, and very systematic cures. You should be, I sit with my Ayurvedic doctor here and he tells me the most amazing things. The most amazing things about how when people are sick, there's a very simple remedy that you apply it. And it's not only a matter of sickness, even if they're in trouble, medically for some way. Ayurveda is complete. It's called Ayurveda, which means longevity of life. The science was given by Dhanvantari, who is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So it's not coming from, Dr. So-and-so. Karuna also raised her hand. She would like to add something.
Yes, Mataji. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. It's just on what you were saying and the devotee before was saying about doctors not charging. In 12 years, my doctor never charged me even once, never. Apparently, it's because they lose their Shakti, and they know that. The proper doctors know that. It's like Jyotish, proper Jyotish people. You just give them a little or dakshin like that, but they will never charge you. Otherwise, they lose their Shakti. I mean, sometimes here in the West, if they need to pay their overheads or whatever, but in India, my doctor never charged. I only paid for the medicines, and it was something like 200 rupees a month.
Yeah, I didn't know that about losing Shakti, but I know they do it as a service, many of them. Yeah, and they don't try to make it a profit program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So be aware those who, sorry, Maharaj, yeah?
We have a clinic here, and so in order to keep up the expense of the clinic, there is some fee that is given to the patients they have to pay. But the doctor doesn't make any money. It's all just to maintain the hospital. That's all.
Maintain.
Thank you. You wanted to say something else, Karuna?
No, just to be aware, devotees who don't have much experience about Ayurveda, and then somebody is going to try to charge them a lot, and particularly in India, or even here, I mean, somewhere else, but particularly in India, then to be aware of those and stay away from these people, because that's it.
Yeah, I met one Ayurvedic doctor. I was looking for one. I connected with one in the West. He said for the first visit, I charge $150. And then I said goodbye. Because I realized he was the first thing he told me is about how much to charge.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about, about the cure or the illness, anything. He was talking about money. So I could realize that he was more or less, avaricious.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you for that knowledge. I didn't know that they don't charge because it takes away their Shakti, and that actually makes complete sense,
Yeah. It's like Bhagavatam. The minute somebody is charging for a lecture or for something, it's like weird. We don't go. No, I don't go.
Well, if you go back into history, into the Vedic culture, the Brahmins were, versed in medicine, astrology, and they would travel and they would visit the householder's house and they would give advice in medicine, which was Ayurveda. They would also give astrological readings and also spiritual knowledge. And society, being grateful for their services, they would maintain them. So the Brahmins never had any trouble with maintaining themselves because people would give naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice seeing you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Nice to meet you also, Karuna. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord. Dear devotees, any more last minute questions or comments? Maharaj, I have a question on fasting. So how much fasting we have to do? Like only Ekadasi fasting is enough, or Nowadays, we have intermittent fasting, skipping breakfast, and eating only in particular time period of the day.
Well, fasting is a way of cleansing, but we have to generally follow the principles for fasting. On the Ekadasi, there's 5 ways to fast on Ekadasi, 5 different levels of accepting Ekadasi. One is the complete fast, no water, and that because every Ekadasi is meant to be nirjal. Actually, a nirjal is every Ekadasi, but who can follow that? So that is the ideal way that's been given by the Vedas. Second, or less, is to take only water. Third is to take only fruit and milk. Fourth is to take no cooked foods. And fifth is to take what we usually, what Prabhupada gave us, knowing that we couldn't do it, is no grains and no beans. So that's the lowest form of. But nowadays, devotees talk about Kadasi feasts, It's like completely contrary to the principle of Ekadasi. Ekadasi means to slow down, let the belly kind of rest, and drink some water, and spend more time hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. That's what it's meant. Now you can choose what level you want to follow. Prabhupada said little fruit, little milk. Although he gave the general society no grains and beans, in his recommendations, he said little fruit, little milk. That's the one he repeated many times in his lectures.
So what about if anybody wants to do any extra days fasting, is that recommended, Maharaj?
And extra days of fasting, you mean just arbitrarily fast?
Yeah.
Well, fasting, if you're sick, they say the best way, of course, most illnesses is resting and fasting. And they say if you have an unwanted guest, which is a disease, then don't feed the guest and he'll leave. So yeah. So it's good for, that's what I usually do when I get sick. I just fast and rest and I'm fine. And the body can regenerate itself. The body has the ability to heal itself, but we have to give it a chance to work according to the way it's supposed to work.
Maharaj, thank you. Yeah, Karuna Purna Mataji, can you give the name of the doctor and the contact details?
Okay, so okay,
Can you type on the chat so that everyone can copy it?
The doctor is in Vrindavan, right?
Yeah, okay, so I cannot, I haven't been able to trace him because I had to come back here to the UK for COVID. Actually, I came for the Brexit, but my doctor was Dr. Pramod Kumar, and he's a disciple of Ramdev Baba. So he's from the side of Patanjali. They have a fabulous university and research center and in Haridwar. It's is a non-holiday place, so you need to get up at 4:30, do yoga and etc. But and then he has many doctors who are trained at university there, well, Ramdev Baba is their guru, obviously, and he sends them everywhere in India. I was lucky, mine was in Vrindavan, and I saw him for, as I said, for many years consecutively. And now I don't know where he is. I sent a photo trying to trace him. But if you communicate with any doctor from Patanjali, they are all trained in the same place. And the particularity is that they use Bhashmas, which is the real Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah.
So Ayurvedic medicine is not like what they have here in the West, which is just herbs, because the big pharma, obviously, they don't allow them. But the real Ayurvedic medicine is the Bhashma.
Best to go to India. There's many
Yeah.
opportunities. But I can say, when you mention Patanjali, when it comes to their medical products or health products, they're quality.
Super quality.
Super quality. I take this Chaiwan Prash done by Patanjali. I find it's like miracle. Stay away from
again-
Dabur. Stay away from Dabur products. They're all junk and
Yeah.
synthetic. If you got any Dabur, just replace it with Patanjali. Patanjali is so good that there's certain countries that don't allow them in because they will take over the competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think UK doesn't allow them, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, because they're so good. They'll push everybody else out.
Oh, we do
Well, I
get,
mean,
get Patanjali medicine in the UK. It's quite easily available.
well,
Some-
I get it on Amazon, and some of them, but you get the herbs, but you cannot get the Bhashmas because
Yeah.
it's forbidden in the whole Europe. So they have a center in East London, which is a very small shop where they have herbs. That's it. So because I've been there, because when I came back from Vrindavan, obviously my first port was going there. But now, if I need to get something, I get it from Distacart, which is a company that is in America as well. Otherwise, for Bhashmas, I haven't been able to have now for the past 3 years.
Mhm. It's always good to go to India once a year for pilgrimage. You can, and when you take that pilgrimage, you can search out many of these clinics. There's some really ideal clinics in South India that are just like, they're really expert. Many of the devotees go to various clinics and they come back and they're renewed. Going in the West, you're going to get something less than ideal. But something's better than nothing. The doctor in Slovenia, I found him is very good. He's from Kerala.
Hmm.
And he set up his clinic. And I noticed the way he operates is a little different than what my experience with most Ayurvedic doctors were, and how he does the evaluation. But he seems to be so precise. And I mean, he just does a few things, looks at your tongue, pulls your fingers out, takes your pulse, and then he knows exactly what the balance is between the three doses, and then what kinds of medicines you need to bring it back to normal. That doctor in Slovenia, Shoma Datri, is good. He's good.
Maharaj, it's almost 2 hours, and
Okay, we can stop here. I knew it
So-
was an extended program today because it's a one-time thing and it's a big thing.
yes, Maharaj.
And so, but whatever you can play the tape over again and see what you missed and what you want to remember. Because I think there was a lot of good points that were mentioned, especially by the devotees. We want to thank Karuna for her input. It was really insightful.
Oh my gosh.
What she did. Thank
I'm
you.
happy to hear you again.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear devotees, for such a nice participation and nice questions and nice inputs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maharaj. And we'll meet you again tomorrow with Harrisburg devotees class. And tomorrow Maharaj is going to give a special class on the Kartik month. Tomorrow we are starting Kartik month. Please do join. I'll share the link in the WhatsApp groups.
And then Friday we'll begin, we'll go back to Srimad Bhagavatam, starting with the 3rd chapter.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Maharaj, you want to do some chanting after the now?
Oh, all right. I'm good for 2 rounds, and after 2 rounds I have to leave. So
Yes.
she can begin. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I have